happy Monday morning to you on Juneteenth, right? That's what today is. And we are live here with another member of the LEAP community, Sandy Zeisler. And we're going to jump right in today to talk to Sandy all about CRM systems. If you are a business owner and you do not have a CRM system, you're going to want to tune in to this quick conversation that we're going to have for about 15 minutes today on why they're important, what it has to do with lead gen, the follow-ups, the tools that you can use. So we're just going to jump right into it today and ask Sandy, how'd you do it, Sandy? Tell us about why are you involved in CRM systems? What do you see as the importance of them, and why do all business owners need them?
Oh my gosh, Colleen, it's so important to grow your business. And I so appreciate the opportunity to be on here today to talk to your audience about that. When I relaunched my business a year ago, just over a year ago, I knew that it was important to find a system to allow me to track my leads and opportunities and have that done so that I didn't have to work so hard and bring in new leads. I was tired of networking and never getting any results. And I found that the secret really was in the follow-up and having a system for not only one-to-one consulting, but then also having an email marketing program that I can put people in to keep them in my funnel. And having that automated system is so beneficial for me.
You know, Grant Cardone says you follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up until someone says no. And I agree with that philosophy. I believe that too many times we follow up once, maybe twice, and then we don't follow up anymore because we don't hear from people. But the aggressive follow-up gives the person the opportunity that you connected with to say yes or no if they had an interest and were at one point a warm lead. So talk to us about the CRM systems that you work with, why you work with them, and the benefits of them.
Yeah, and there's so many choices out there today. There's anywhere from super low end systems that you can use. And I even start with my clients on an Excel spreadsheet. They don't have to go into a big, huge, robust system, but then I move them up to other programs. And my favorite is Keep. I love the Keep program because it has so many tools in it. It has the calendar reminders, the pipeline, the scheduling system. So you need to really identify what systems you need and what features. You might be paying a little bit more for having an all-in-one system, but then you have to do the math on all the individual programs that you're selecting. You can select Calendly for your calendar. You can select Zoho for your CRM, and then you can select another program for something else, but they don't talk to each other. And so the headache of that is nice. So try to just evaluate that. And I work with my clients too in helping them pick the CRMs that work for them.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that we want to talk about that's super important. You have to choose the right CRM that works for you. And I do see too many women in helping them build businesses, Sandy, that are spread out and have their Calendly in one area and then their newsletters in another area. And they might even have an online website that has a back-end CRM. So everything's just kind of spread all out. And you're not really able to capitalize on having all of the information in one place for billing, for lead gen, for nurturing. Let's talk about nurturing. What does nurturing a connection mean to you, start to finish?
Nurturing, it starts for finish. Even now that in the last 2 years, we're all on Zoom calls. And I take a look at the opportunities from the saved chats. And that's a huge missed opportunity that people forget about. We are saving that chat information. And there's a reason why we're saving that chat. Can you go back after? I hopefully most of the time allow myself an extra half hour after a meeting. Not always, because we're always back-to-back meetings. But if you can spend some time even that evening, go back through that list. And it doesn't mean you have to pick everybody. Pick 5. Pick 5 people that said something, or maybe those that resonated you during the meeting, and write down their information. So I follow up with them on LinkedIn, send them a connection request, add them to my CRM list and say, this is a warm lead or a possible prospect to continue the conversation. Because I'm not going to close a sale today with that person, nor am I going to close them. I'm not going to close them on that LinkedIn connection request. But because we're all busy, then by you follow up, like you mentioned before, then that 3rd or 4th connection request or that email in LinkedIn, and you can move it from online to offline, send them something in the mail, ask them to join your free offer. And then what does that look like? is it a free tip sheet? Is it a discovery call for, a 20-minute discovery call? It doesn't have to be an hour. Half-hour discovery calls, great. And you can
Yeah.
book those, maybe do Wednesdays or
In
your
a
discovery
20-minute
calls.
chat. Yeah, a
Just a 20-minute
20-minute
chat.
chat is easy. Yeah, I have it
Easy.
download your free guidebook here, your
Mhm.
5 simple steps, successful follow-up after networking. So you guys click on that link or copy and paste it and put it in the URL. This will give you 5 simple steps. She's just saying these are successful follow-up after networking steps that you can take for each one of you. And I see that's where the number one thing is that falls flat, Sandy. When I go to networking events, I almost by fail am the number one person that follows up with anyone that I meet, that I connect with, that I put down in my copy and paste or put into a Google Doc that I have, that I want to follow up with them. That's just generally in the moment while I'm in the networking event. And then, of course, they get entered into my CRM system. And then I ask permission at that point to follow up with them and send them tips and have them on my newsletter for, me to be able to do that. Make sure we're always asking permission to do that, but it never fails. I'm the number one person to follow up before other people follow up with me. And I think it's such a missed opportunity for people, because those that do follow up with me, I wind up doing something with, usually, whether I'm connecting them to another person or we're doing something in the future, or I join something they have, or I'm, connecting with someone that they know, or they're coming on my podcast, right? So there's a lot of missed opportunities. And I hear women say on a regular basis, I couldn't possibly add one more thing to my workday because I'm so busy. So I want to ask the question, what are you so busy doing that following up and getting clients isn't the number one action and activity that you're doing that day? What else are you doing that you're so busy when getting clients is the number one way you grow your business?
Yeah. And I think that people, they join too many networking events.
Yeah.
You have to cut back on those networking events and take those relationships deeper.
Yeah.
Build those relationships for longer time instead of just jumping from meeting to meeting to meeting. You have to pick and choose your opportunities. There's a bazillion and one opportunities out there, and you just can't be everything to everybody.
Right.
You have to highly show up to those that you do want to pick.
I dropped Sandy's 45-minute link in here because she wants a little bit more time to discuss with each one of you what it is that you're looking for and what you need. I'll tell you this. Sandy is super smart when it comes to Keep. I've brought her in to do some training in the group, in my Leap community, to work with the ladies individually on how to work with Keep. It's not, CRMs are not the easiest technology to figure out. It does take a learning curve, and you can do one of two things. You can learn them yourself, execute them yourself. I think Keep at the basic or pro level are pretty easy to be able to execute yourself. If you're working with Keep at the highest level, which is going to be the Max Infusionsoft level, you may need someone like Sandy to work with you that can do a done for you. I have people on my team that work with me and are done for me, where they create campaigns for me. They create the processes and get the nurturing campaigns in place. I know what I want, but I don't know how to do it in the back end, if that makes sense. So, but that doesn't mean you have to put your head in a hole and avoid getting a CRM system, because your CRM system is your portfolio of business. It is your guide. It is your contacts. We need to kind of beat that into the ground here, Sandy. How, valuable is that list of people?
It is hugely valuable. And that's when I was looking at CRMs. They're not easy. And, even though Colleen and I are mentioning Keep, it's a great program. Pick a program. Don't just jump onto the newest bandwagon that somebody else says it's a great program for them, because you don't know what their journey was.
Right.
Pick one and stick with it. And that's why I'm actually offering with my Keep is a, office hours system. So people can hire me on an office hours to help them train them through the systems, because there's so many questions all the time I get. How do you do this? How do you do that? And any computer system. I've been doing technology training for 30 years and I've learned it. And that's that's my gift, is the technology training. And so I want to share that with everybody and help entrepreneurs with those systems.
I always say there's a gap, right,
Mhm.
between where someone wants to be in their business and where they're at today. And that gap is generally something they don't know, right? It's
Mhm.
something they don't know,
Absolutely.
or it's lack of effort. So if it's lack of effort, you already know right now that I'm talking to you. If you're the one that is doing the busy work, wearing that badge of busy, right? The stuff that you think keeps you busy because for some reason that's going to give you a badge of congratulations, you were busy in your business today.
Mhm.
By the way, it doesn't generate any more
Nope.
money. It doesn't give you any more exposure.
Mhm.
Doing things that are moving the needle would be speaking on virtual stages, speaking on, real stages, talking and following up with clients, reaching out to potential clients, attending networking events, coming on like this where Sandy is as an interviewee to get herself more exposure for what she does. You want people to be seeing you everywhere, talking about you everywhere. These are the daily actions that will move your business forward. It's the daily actions that built my businesses. It's the daily actions that sustain my businesses. And you have to keep your foot on the pedal. You can't let off of the pedal and just coast and think, oh, I'm doing good now, because then everything just stops, especially if you are in a business where you are exchanging time for money,
Mhm.
meaning the money you receive is for the time that and the effort and the value that you're adding for someone else. If that's the business you're in, my friend, you can't take your foot off the pedal. What are some common mistakes you've seen with CRM systems that business owners do, Sandy?
The biggest common mistake, and I mentioned that a little bit before, is they sign up and they've got 3 or 4 that they've subscribed to, and now they're paying the money into them, and then they tell me that they hate the system. And I'll ask them how many people I have in the database. Oh, 5. Well, you can't.
Oh,
I seriously do. I seriously do. I hear that day in and day out. Oh, I'll have 10, a handful. But it's really finding that system. And that's why I bring some of my people back to basics
yeah,
before you get into the
yeah,
electronics of it. If you don't know what you're picking up the phone for, what you're going to email them, what you're going to
yeah.
text to them about, having that system isn't going to do it. But it really just dedicating and documenting things. That's the biggest thing, is because I can't remember a conversation I have.
Yeah.
I just realized that somebody I've been in a networking event for many, many months, we live in the same city, or within 45 minutes of each other, and I'm like, wait, I didn't know you lived in Minnesota. And she says, yes, you did. We had that conversation, but because
Oh,
both of us ended up with COVID, we lost touch for a couple of months.
mm,
And now I remember, oh yeah, now I look back at my notes, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, it's in my notes. So it's just really
yeah,
kind of funny because I can't remember stuff, we're just
yeah,
moving so fast. But being consistent,
yeah.
I like follow up Friday. And I've had some people tell me, oh, I hate Fridays, I'm not going to follow up on Friday. That doesn't mean everybody's going to follow up back with you. Fridays to me is my down morning, and then I can take the afternoon off. I work for
Same.
4 hours, get it done,
Yep.
follow up, send the emails, maybe check it on Monday or Sunday afternoon, because some people will reply, and then just wait for them to reply, and then
Yeah.
have that list. So that's the,
Fridays are great follow-up days because then you get to look at your whole week and everyone that you might have spoken with,
correct.
that you followed up with already once, and now you get a second chance to follow up with them in that same week. And people love it when you comment about, "Hey, what do you have planned for the weekend?
Yeah,
Anything fun?" blah blah blah. And here's the other thing: when you follow up, get to know someone, get to
absolutely.
understand who they are, what they like. If you know they're like me and have grandkids, you might want to say, hey, do you have any fun plans scheduled with your grandkids this weekend? Instead of saying something that wouldn't fit me, right? Or who
Yeah.
I am. Get
Well,
to know people.
yeah, you can, look them up on LinkedIn and Facebook
Yeah.
and Instagram. They're sharing their life. Tell
Yeah.
them, and especially if it's their birthday or their grandkids, if they got grandkids or their
Yeah.
dog, their pets.
I
People
agree.
love talking about themselves, don't we?
Yeah, they do, but remember
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
everyone, it's what's in it for me. So,
Correct.
what can you say to them or offer them? And it's not like, hey, by the way, here's that link again for you to
Hmm.
sign up for that course I
No.
sent you. Hey, here's that link again for you to sign up for that retreat. Hey, here's that link again for you to sign up for, like they're going to be
No.
like, stop bugging me. I don't want to sign up for all your crap. So, get them on your newsletter. start sending them tips. Explain to them like, hey, this would be a good opportunity for you. I have a friend that has a speaking network. Have you joined it yet? No, I haven't. Here, you should join it. Here's
Yep.
the link. I
Offer
just
them.
gave them something for free for them to go join someone else's speaking network. So how are you nurturing your contacts? How are you assisting your contacts to get exposure, to connect them with someone else? That is one of the best ways to start a conversation with someone, to build a relationship, is to give them something, connect them with someone that you know, and let them take it from there. But look around you.
Yep.
There are plenty of ways that you can nurture connections. It's like, people that live in my neighborhood, if they tell me, yeah, I don't know any of my neighbors, I'm like, well, then you're not getting out of your house to even get to know your neighbors.
Yep.
So don't expect them to come knocking on your door
Right.
and for
Yep.
them to beat your door down to do business with you or get to know you. You have to be the first one to reach out. And if you take that one single step, organize yourself with a CRM system. Sandy should be the first one that you're calling, by the way. She has a free 45-minute call. You have to do is copy and paste or click on the link. It's that easy. And connect with her to find out, how do I do a CRM? What are the best CRMs out there? She's going to ask you several questions to find out what it is that you need and you're looking for to start building this list. But nurturing a connection list is strong. And if it's all in your cell phone, that's okay. You can get it out of your cell phone and into a CRM system and ask people to subscribe to tips that you're going to send them or newsletters that you're going to send them. And that's the other thing. Talk to people,
Talk.
text them, Facebook message them. There's more ways than one we can do
Yep.
that today, right?
It doesn't have to be an email. It can be,
Yeah.
even just sharing their post is a huge, because it shows they know that you're sharing their
Right.
post. Can you introduce, like you said, ask them questions.
Yeah.
Who is their ideal client? Do they have dogs? Do they have kids? And that's part of the conversation. It's getting to know them on a personal level.
Sandy is one of those people that when she wants to know something, she takes the time, she dives into it, and she learns it. And because she's learned these systems and how to do it, for those of us that do not want to learn those systems or how to do it, that's me. She has the knowledge, has taken the time, and can help other people do that. And that's what we need her for. So if you are in need of a CRM system, need help with your CRM system because you don't know what to do and you just might need to ask questions or hire her on a, working hours during the day. Hey, I have 2 questions and I was wondering if I could hire you to help me out with this. She's available for that.
Yep.
It's the perfect opportunity. So Sandy,
Yes.
thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the community and for leading the way to assist other women so that they can nurture their contacts, they can grow their list, that they can be successful in business.
Absolutely.
You're the epitome of that. Well, thank you, Sandy, and thank you all for joining us. We will be back here again next week. Everyone take care, and we'll see you later. Go crush it in business, everyone.